Hi, I'm Clever Pigeon, and welcome to my post-commentated speedrun of Toilet in Wonderland 100%. Thank you very much for watching. Firstly, if you are from a submissions committee, thank you very much for considering Toilet in Wonderland 100% for your speedrunning event, whatever that may be. Let me explain the basics of the category just before we start, because it moves really quickly. So, Toilet in Wonderland is an RPG Maker adventure game, in which you play as a girl named Mira who is constipated, and her constipation transports her to this surreal dream world with various quirky characters in it and things going on. So the objective of the 100% category is to first visit all 6 toilets, then collect all 21 laxatives, get it Mira lax, right? Anyway. Which reduces your constipation meter, which is real, to 0%. Then you've got to collect all of the items in the game, and then you also have to complete the 8 quests in a Speckless Odyssey, as it's called, which are some side missions. And that gets you the best ending out of 3 in this game. With that explained, let us begin. Do a little reset here quickly. Time starts on new game. You get this little cutscene. So, although this game is quite simple mechanically, there is a lot to remember. A lot that happens very quickly. You move very quickly. Your inputs have to be quite precise. There's a lot of mashing to do. And, yeah. Just generally kind of tough. So, you end up in the dream world. Your guide to this dream world is Michael Jackson, or MJ as the game calls him, and you've got to talk to him first, and then we can set off. So, there's a wanted sign for a crab on that poster. He'll come up later. First thing we want to do is get Bottom, who's one of our party members, and we go in here, get in bed. It transports us to a different house. Get out of bed, go downstairs. And you might have seen this in a meme somewhere. That, yeah, I've seen that as a screenshot around the internet. Got to collect various things from Mario's house. If you look at that Mario in the painting, you die instantly. There are various, like that, jump scare Marios, or ones that will lunge at you out of nowhere and insta-kill you if they hit you. Storage room key. Got to get the passcode to this right. If you get it wrong, you get killed by Mario. A lot of very quick inputs here. Then you've got to go and open this up. Inspect the poorly drawn MS Paint fire GIF. And then you've got to go out. You've got to go and do that first before you grab this fire extinguisher. And then Mira will head back to the fire with the fire extinguisher in tow, and we will deal with it by throwing the fire extinguisher at the fire, and there you go, we win. And then you get a bit of a talking to from the fire extinguisher, who's mad that you don't know how to use a fire extinguisher correctly. Example of some of the mashing you've got to do. RNG here, got to pull the right switch to get this cow out of the way. You want this one, fewest inputs, and that was good RNG, getting the center one straight away. There's a chance that Mario can come out and just kill you. And then these Marios, they always come out, just keep moving. Then these Mario statues, let's call them, push them onto the switches. 5th and final switch, use the fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher's mad, because this is also not how to use a fire extinguisher, and then it tries to walk away, but it can't because it doesn't have feet. And you've actually got to keep mashing at the end of that to break out, which, hold on a second, Luigi, which is one example of various places in this game where you have to do inputs where you wouldn't expect to have to do them. Going to take a slightly longer way around here, so that there's less chance of me getting hit by that randomly moving Mario. Get the key from the big red room. We now have the bathroom key, and we're being chased back by this huge swarm of Marios. And, yeah. It's not too difficult, but, you know, if you do put more than a few steps wrong, it's over. Those statues come and get you. And, then that cow from earlier, I assume it's the same cow. There are a few cows in this game. And then, oh no, they've ambushed you. Oh, and you're surrounded. What are you going to do? But fear not, Mira, because the fire extinguisher comes back and saves us. And then there's some cutscenes, some dialogue to mash through, and the fire extinguisher helps us to get into the bathroom now that we have the key, and that is toilet number 1. Go in, and there you are. And that warps us back to the hub building where we first spawned in. And then we're back in the main hub area. We go back down to Bottom's house for the next bit. So that was the most RNG heavy part of the run. This is the second most RNG heavy. This is a place called Unsafe Haven. These meatheads are bullying these nerds. There's a big fist around called the Absolute God of Violence, and if you step in the wrong place, it will instantly mash you to death, with nothing you can do about it. There's one of the laxatives over there. We will deal with that later. We'll come back for it. And then this guy's angry because we bumped into him apparently, which, you know, we didn't, but meathead's gonna meathead. And then they take it out on you in the bar. They say they're going to take you to the hazing house, but Bottom is our real MVP. So yeah, and then the last one drops the key to the hazing room on his way out, and in the hazing room we get the key to jail, and then we get to go again. Still picking up that laxative later. We'll come back around. So this is the hazing room. As you can see, they're undertaking a little bit of hazing. Got the jail cell key. And now we can go in jail. And, well, it looks like it might not end very well for us. I imagine you can tell, but I should say that this game, I reckon, would be an excellent fit for a silly block or a meme block in any speedrunning marathon. As you can see, it is it doesn't take itself too seriously. That eye thing and that cow go into your party and never show up again. Here's a laxative we actually do pick up the first time we meet it. And this guy's like, hey, can you let us out of jail? And you have to, otherwise he won't let you past. And then he shuts you in. And things would end there if we didn't have Bottom in our party, but Bottom, being our strong man, doesn't care. And because we actually still have the key, we use it again. And there's toilet number 2. Back to the hub world now. I get to go off in a different direction. There's Lady Liberty. Head for a brief sojourn in the woods, and then we go into this cave, into this like Silent Hill inspired mountainous area. And firstly we pick up Akebono, the Japanese wrestler, I think. And watch out, because there is a salmon about. So this salmon, it's scripted, thankfully, but if you don't stop in the right place at the right time, it will just insta-kill you if you touch it. So you've got to memorize those and not mess it up, because I don't save in this run, so it would be completely over if I messed that up. some more precision. And then another bit you might have seen in some kind of joke screenshot on the internet. This tongue-looking thing descends from the sky, makes a noise, and then the text says, "This is your father." So we're going to pick up that rabbit that we're going to give him the rabbit that we picked up earlier. And the rabbit is called Horizon. It's sometimes referred to as a cat. It makes a horse noise. Don't ask me. And then Dad's off again. Salmon. And oh no, this one is scripted actually. You find out that the salmon is based off of a memory of not wanting to eat your fish, apparently. And then got to be careful to only take one step down, because that will kill you. This room looks really dangerous, but actually Mira will kick those out of the way, all those spiky things. Another laxative. Go through this room with the dog. Hi, dog. Yeah, I don't know. And then... oh, it's down again. And he's mad. Spend some time with your father. But then, wait for it. It's that crab that was on the wanted poster that I mentioned. It's a weird looking crab, but anyway. The crab tries to fight your father, and then the salmon comes in and saves the crab. And then the crab thanks the salmon, and then the salmon kills the crab. But hey, Horizon the cat rabbit horse is back. There you go. Horizon's important though, because Horizon is a party member. So, and there's toilet number 3. Some other things you can interact with here, but we just need to go straight into the toilet. What a sentence to say. We'll pick up that letter, that's one of the items we've got to get, but we'll do that later on. Just to save a few steps. A little bit of optimization. Before we go to the next toilet, we've got to head through this cave system. And this is a bit of a detour, but this is just the best time to do it. Because this is when we pass by the well that the caves are in. These shaking guys move randomly, so it's a bit annoying if they step in your way. There's a laxative in here, that's all we need to come here for, and then we go straight out. That slug, the face on that slug is actually like drawn from an actual photo of a woman, and that photo appears in the credits to this ending of the game. So yeah, I don't know how to feel about that exactly, but there you are, some trivia. Here are the mean team. They're like a horrible biker gang. You shove them about though. They're actually not really that tough. A few hijinks later, and they're like, okay, to get through here, we're going to challenge you to a bike race. So off we go. And you pull up, and the gang leader is like, wait, hold on, safety first. And you get this Pikachu helmet, which is quite lovely. 3, 2, ready? And not really 1, because Mira plays them for fools and just goes before the starting pool. And then you crash into a cow and the bike explodes. Thankfully, you wake up in this bed in this random house. And then you try to leave, and the doctor who saves you comes in. And he's got a football. There's a whole story behind that. He pushes you back into bed. He pushes you back into bed again. He lectures you for a little bit about how he's got no friends and how he saved your life. He tries to push you back into bed again. And then you leave. And through here, this is the way to Toilet 4 now. There's some dark exposition from this cow, but actually he's just joking. And then he moves out of the way, but it's difficult for him because he's got no walking sprites. But it takes a lot of effort. There's some 2 arguing guys. Just walk past them. No big issue. Get a laxative here. This is the dev team, actually. Kind of like one of those rooms in the old Pokemon games where Game Freak showed up. And that's Toilet 4. Then you get some cutscenes about the Doctor and about how he's got no friends. And he's talking about how his father, who's also a doctor, died. No, his father, who's also a doctor, did not save his friend's life. And then the soccer ball comes to life and it's like, hey, I'll be your friend, because it can talk, you know. This is the Doctor's father. And he's saying, hey, you should become a doctor instead, even though he wants to be a football player. And then the crab and the free edge of a nail and salty water come along. And they're like, hey, we'll be your friend so you can play football and start a football team. And then they all leave. But not before the salmon comes and kills the guy's father. There's a Dragon Quest reference in there somewhere as well. So yeah, backstory for the Doctor.
Congratulations!
And well done. Shoutouts to Apuna for the Wii. Game you can play using only the nunchuck. And now I pick up the letter. It's actually from the crab saying he's gone to Ocean City or something. Toilet number 5. This would be a relatively good spot for donations, to be honest. This one's just a fair bit of walking from place to place. So we head into the woods, and we go down this winding path. And along we go. These also move randomly, so you hope they don't get in your way. Take this teleportation sigil. And we end up in the Mirror Woods, where everything is colour inverted. These guys also move randomly, like that, and that. So you hope they don't get in your way. And we make our way back out where we came from, but in the Mirror Woods. And there's toilet number 5. Let me talk a little bit about a potential donation incentive for this run. So there are various NPCs in this area you get thrown to, who you have to talk to in order to progress, and one of them asks you to name him so that he's not just a random NPC anymore. And you get 12 characters with which to name him, so potential donation incentive there, because he becomes one of your party members later on, and he sticks around. So yeah, gotta go into every cave and talk to all of them. You do just die at the end of this area if you don't talk to all of the people here. So 3 more in here. They're talking about how it is approaching. That's the thing making all the noise. This is the guy who wants a name. Just name him A really quickly for the purposes of this run. But yeah, potential donation incentive. Head to cave number 3. And yeah, they tell you to get out. This guy gives you an item, which is very nice, because again, you need that to complete the game. Though, of course, you've got to talk to him anyway, or you'll die. And then, hey, it turns out that the guy you named is up here, and will see off it as you leave. And, yeah. That's the end of him. Or is it? Sweet. MJ is there. We can talk to him to learn more about what's going on and what we should be doing. But we already know what we should be doing. Oh, hey! He lived. Gotta look at this grave, and then it warps you to this weird, like, bizarro world. I'm gonna equip an action, which I didn't mention earlier. There are various actions in this game you can do. I just equipped Punch. You only need 2 of the various ones you get. There's this mob boss walking around. You're gonna try and shoot this girl. And then you. But, you know, Botty's here, and he's extremely powerful. Yeah, we'll be using that action in a moment. And then you talk to this girl, and you find out that she is constipation. She is the embodiment of your constipation, humanized into a living form. So, if you've ever been constipated and thought, wow, I'd like to meet it, there you go. Sorry, I probably should have thought before I said that, but, you know. Nobody's perfect. If you get hit 3 times by one of those faceless versions of you, you die. This is what the punch action is for. We kill these, like, blob versions of the NPCs so that we can get this mask from this side area. And then we go to our own, like, decapitated head. Don't worry about that. And then we leave. And then we get this nice little cutscene sequence where we in constipation grab some laxatives. And then we fend off the mob. These guys appear in a few places around the world of Toilet in Wonderland. You fight them off by throwing something, in this case constipation. There are a lot of things that you can throw in this game. And then we just head on out. And before we go any further, both Constipation and I have something that we would like to say to you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it a lot. And then Constipation heads into Toilet 6. And before we can follow her, a bit of an exposition dump from Michael Jackson here about how you have just met with your poopy. And then he gives you stool softener and tells you something about love and friendship, and then he leaves, and you can go into Toilet 6. Now we enter the section of the game that I like to call cleanup. Ha 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 ha. But anyway, after you've entered all 6 toilets, a few things appear around the world that don't appear before you visited all 6 toilets. So we are now going to head back through and get any of the things that are remaining at the end, where it's quickest to do so, or where we haven't been able to before. Like, that laxative wasn't there before, for example. And yeah, it's a bit like Metroid Fusion in that regard. Although I'm not sure there's anything else you can compare this game to Metroid Fusion about. But, you know, it's got a cleanup section at the end. So, you know, in that one way, it's like Metroid Fusion. Heading back into Toilet 1 first. Gonna get a few laxatives that we didn't get earlier, and that have appeared. Slight jump scare warning coming up now. Yeah, Luigi, and sort of slight laughs. He shows up, but actually he's no threat, and he's even an item, so... Yeah, then we head upstairs, get some more laxatives. It's actually safe now, all the Marios are gone, and you can't head into the big red and black area that you could before. Luigi was there. Now... Yeah, we pick up some laxatives, and then we head back up the stairs. The way we came in the first time round, actually. Into the girls' room. Get a laxative first, and then into bed. And we wake up in Bottom's house. And conveniently from Bottom's house, we can get back to Unsafe Haven, which, now that we have won and beaten the meatheads, is Safe Haven. Although the absolute god of violence is still around. He won't be for much longer. You know, we still have Punch equipped. Head over this way, which we couldn't do before. And there's the absolute god of violence. Get laxative. Talk to him. He sprayed his finger, so he's off duty at the moment. And then you can punch him. So, you know, we've defeated the absolute god of violence. That's one of the Speckless Odyssey quests. I told you we'd come back for that laxative, and we did. There's another one inside. You go and get it. And then, this black rabbit that's over here, we use to go back to the main toilet room. Then we head into Toilet 3. So we're going to walk back through the Silent Hill world to get some laxatives. But first we're going to equip the dance action from over there. And yeah, we will use dance in a little bit. That's just the place I like to remember to equip it. Because if you mess up the menus, a few seconds lost, and a few seconds mean quite a lot in this game. A lot of very small optimizations that need to be made. Get a laxative from where we picked up Horizon, the cat rabbit horse earlier. That thing you can't actually interact with. I'm not sure what it is. We'll come back for that laxative, don't you worry. But first, into the woods. And we head down this winding path. And who should we meet but Alice of other Wonderland fame? And then we dance with her. And that makes her our friend, and that's one of the Spectre's Odyssey quests as well. After that, we are going to go into this shrine gate, and it takes us into this house of this scientist, Sebastian. He's being held up by the mob right now. Rest in peace, Sebastian. But we've got to do that for an item to spawn in the mirror version of that house. So, obviously we're going to go to the mirror version of the woods, but the best way to actually do that is not to go through. First we get this, and we just got to avoid them. Oh dear. No. You thought. This is the underwater temple. It's actually just this one room with this one guy who makes a noise if you go and poke him. And then you go outside and go back in, and it's the toilet room suddenly. Going to the underwater temple, discovering it, is also one of the Spectre's Odyssey quests. So we go back in through Toilet 5, and enter the Mirror Woods that way. Saves a whole bunch of walking, and lets us deal with the underwater temple at the same time. Gotta go and get a laxative from Mirror World Alice's house. You get some fun cutscene if you interact with Mirror World Alice's big MS Paint head there. But not required for this run. There's the white part of a nail from earlier, I guess. I don't know if it's the same one. Another jail cell. Grab a laxative. And interact with this rabbit, and we're back to the toilet room again. So, final part of cleanup. As long as I remember to go the right way, that is. So, before we get to the actual tombs that it mentions on my split, we're going to go this way. Meet the meme team again. And talk to them, and then they ride off into the sunset. And that actually causes one of the tombs we visit to spawn. Things are going a bit rough here. The doctor appears to have gotten got by the mob. So I go and pick some stuff up from over there. Get the last grave to spawn. And then we head over to the graves. So we went into the first one for the Toilet 6 area. Go to Dad's tomb. This plays. For the purposes of marathons, by the way, any copyright infringing or copyright trouble causing sound effects can be subbed out, so don't worry about that. Same for the BGM. So we're just visiting all the tombs. Most of them we just have to go in, because that's one of the Spectre's Odyssey quests. In the Mean Team's tomb, they're riding off into the sunset. We'll go and talk to the leader, and he gives you his upgraded bike, which is now cowl and explosion proof. Then we head to the last tomb, the Doctor's tomb. There's a laxative in here. And should everything be done right, we now have everything. And he's with his friend and his soccer ball. I keep saying soccer ball even though I'm English, because that's what the game calls it. But anyway. So before we head off to the final ending area, gotta interact with the Spectre's Odyssey sheet, and then pause and unpause to make sure that gold toilet appears, because that is the best ending condition. If you don't do that, because it sometimes spawns unreliably, you will not get the best ending, and the run will be invalid. I've had that happen before. It was devastating. So, end of the line. The last bit of exposition from MJ talks about how it is approaching once more, and how we have to go and confront it. Right. Loud noise warning in a few seconds, by the way, once we go into this next toilet, and final toilet. Now, yeah, there you go. And this guy shows up. I don't actually know who that is. So the final battle is a cutscene, so I'm going to talk over it, get some flashbacks to various things of Mira's actual life, revealing that this was all like, oh, it's based on memories of her life and her family and her brother and his drawing of Colin, who's bottom or whatever. No, Colin's the brother's name. Anyway, this is a cutscene. I'm gonna do my goodbyes over it, and I will call out time when it happens on the last dialogue box. So you're fighting the avatar of Irregularity here. This is otherwise known as It. Your 4 party members are here. Various things are going to happen. They're all going to attack. They're all going to do special attacks. They'll be revived after they die, like that, with the stool softener. The thing kind of looks like Zero or Zero-2 from Kirby, which is fitting because this music is a MIDI version of the Zero-2 boss fight theme. Anyway, yes, I will call out time when it happens, but this is Toilet in Wonderland 100%. Thank you very much for watching, whether you are just watching for your own amusement or entertainment, or whether you are a Marathon Games Committee member and you are trying to figure out if this would be a good fit for your marathon. There goes the stool softener. Like I said, I think this is a great fit for a silly block or a meme block, because as you can see, this game is really silly. So here come the special attacks from Crab and Salmon. But they're going into the final showdown now. This game, it looks simple, but like I said, there's a lot going on, a lot of mashing, a lot of quick inputs that you have to do. You have to do quite carefully. It's very, very memorization heavy, so don't be fooled. Time is coming up in a few seconds. Alright. Just after Mira's special attack here. On the last text box. And time. Yeah, that's it. I have already said my piece. We will say goodbye to the Avatar. Goodbye, Avatar. This world will now crumble as Mira is no longer constipated, thanks to our help. And, yeah, I've been Clever Pigeon. This has been Toilet in Wonderland 100%. Thank you for watching. Thank you for considering this as part of any marathon. Deceptively simple looking, this game, but a lot goes into this run, and it's tightly optimized. Yeah, that's all of it. I will let the credits play out now, but thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot, and I will see you around. Just popping in to say I told you they were a real person. Anyway, bye for now.